only thing that really worried me was the ether.
And we're back. You're listening to Radio Menagerie. Today we're following a druid on his quest to save his pals. Will he be able to keep himself and his pals alive, or will he succumb to the unforgiving environment of Palworld? Strap in and keep listening. This will be quite the journey.
Yes, you're reading this right. I created my own game mode for Palworld. I didn't code anything, but I kind of set my own rules. I will show you in a second. So, I played a lot of Palworld when it came out, and it sucks to play alone. So I wanted to kind of make it fun for myself. So what I did is create a game mode where these are the rules. First, I cannot catch any pals. The only way I can actually catch them if I like rescue them from poachers, or if like the poachers are trying to kill a pal and I can save it by catching them. I can't interfere with nature, like I can't cut down the tree, and I can't go kill pals. If I see two pals fighting each other, I have to let them battle it out. I can't use pals as slaves. I can use them when I'm with them and they can help me a bit, but I won't create this like big slave farm. I can't kill pals if they're not a threat to me. I can use self-defense if really necessary. If I can, I will run away from them. I can kill humans whenever I want, because they're poachers. I can pick berries. I can pick up rocks, sticks that have fallen to the ground. And if I die, the game ends. I call this the Druid game mode. So if you haven't figured it out, I'm kind of like a druid that has to respect nature and has to be ethical to the pals. That's it. So what is the big goal? I have to just kill the first boss. That's it. If you got what you came for, thanks for watching. If you want to see how I did it, enjoy the video.
So it begins.
When I started the game, I realized I have no idea what I'm doing. I have no plan. I don't even know if this is possible. But you know what? Let's fucking do it. With the little knowledge I had over the game, I knew we could speak to this shotgun and we could actually get some free stuff. At this part I started to think, what resources can I actually get and what resources can I not get? So because of the rule that I couldn't destroy anything, I had to look to the ground. What items are on the ground that I can pick up? The three key items is wood, stone and paldium fragments. And our food is going to be berries. You can find some eggs here and there, but they're not really a reliable resource of food. When I hit level 3, I noticed I hit level 3. I thought to myself, how did I hit level 3? The main way you get XP in Palworld is you catch pals, and if you catch 10 of the same pal, you get like an XP boost. And that would be really useful to leveling up, but I cannot do that. So I realized I can pick up items for getting XP. I get 1 XP for every item I pick up from the ground. Down the hill you can speak to this dude and get some free items, but the items is just the same as the items we can find on the ground. You can also find a Leaf Monk effigy behind him, but I don't know if they're really that relevant in this game mode. As you can see, I didn't pick up the egg, because I can't really interfere with nature. And if I could even pick up the egg, I don't think we would ever use it, because that part is a little bit past the first boss, and I don't think I would be able to get every resource needed. So just as Minecraft, I have to prepare for the night. But unlike Minecraft, I don't have to watch out for monsters right now. The only thing that can kill us right now is the cold. So for the first night we just need one campfire to take us through the night. I wanted to build my home here, at these old ruins, because I wanted to reuse someone else's home. This seems like a good place to explain to you the first step of my plan. We need to find wool. The wool is going to help us to fight the cold, and we need 4 pieces of wool to do that. And with the 4 pieces we're going to craft 2 cloth, so we can create our cloth outfit. You might ask, why don't you just craft a shoddy bed? But I'm going to need like 5 fiber to do that, and the only way to get fiber right now is to cut down wood, and I can't do that. So how do we get wool? First we can find wool at the wild, but it's pretty rare. So that is not going to be the most reliant way to do it, but that's the way we're going to have to do it right now. If we're really lucky, maybe some poachers attack some lamb balls or other pals that drop some wool. So essentially, if a poacher attacks a lamb ball and I'm going to save it, the way I'm going to save it is by catching it, so it doesn't die. In that way, the lamb ball is actually going to drop some wool. If the poachers kill a lamb ball in the wild and it drops some wool, I will not be able to pick up that wool. As you can see, I was pretty lucky. Where was I? Because I need to get some kind of punish if I don't save a pal, and it kills the whole thing about saving nature if I pick up the wool. When I got to Rain's Syndicate Tower, I activated the teleporter, ran up the stairs, and my ears were right. Poachers were attacking pals. As defender of nature, there's only one thing you can do. Defend nature. Because I was pretty new to the job, I have no fucking weapon. So I have to use my fists.
Target acquired.
NANI?! So after rescuing our 2 first pals and almost defeating the whole camp, I finished off the last guys. I then released my newly acquired friend from his sphere and we ran back to my camp. I also noticed it's starting to get dark, so running back to the camp was a good idea. As you already know, when it becomes night it gets cold, so I can't really venture outside of the camp at night. But there's something I didn't know when doing this playthrough, is that the pal I just caught, Orsox. When Orsox is outside of his sphere, he can heat up the player with his partner skill. So if you're going to do this challenge, don't forget that pals you catch in the early game might have useful skills. Welcome back guys to part 2. You didn't miss that much. I just cached a few new pals and leveled 2 levels. And we also changed the location of our base. And of course the new pals is also rescue pals. I also gave a name to our pals. So to our Arsox I named him Hephaestus, the god of fire. And I renamed Pegolet to Ares, the god of war and courage, because of his courage when fighting those poachers. Another thing I found was one more cloth. It would be more satisfying if you actually see me catch the cloth, find the cloth. But I promise you, after this I won't lose any more footage. At this point I left the base to find more cloth, and also tried to stumble upon more encounters with poachers attacking pals. Because with this roster we're having right now, we're not going to make the first boss. This might be a good time to explain to you, who is the first boss? It's Zoe and Grisbolt. A thing that is good to know about them is that Grisbolt, the pal that Zoe is riding on, is actually a electric type. And we're going to need to find pals that have earth attacks. And we kinda want to avoid having water pals at that battle, because electric is good against water. The easiest way to explain to you why we need an earth type, or a ground type what it's actually called, is because that ground type is doing double damage to electric type, and will take half the damage from electric attacks. And this also explains why we need to avoid water types, because it takes double damage from electric types, and it will do half the damage to electric types. And that was the alarm for finding the third cloth. Jesus Christ. And I said wrong. I mean the fuck me. Oh my god. The third wool. Jesus Christ. And after that it wouldn't take long for us to find the fourth piece of wool. And finding the fourth piece of wool leads to us creating the warm clothing. Da-na-na-na. So one thing that is good to know is that you can't really use the clothes outfit because you're going to need like wool to repair it. So we're only going to use it at night when it's cold. So if someone is attacking me, I'm going to have to like unequip the armor.
What? Oh.
The biggest question is, how are we going to get more pals? And the answer is, by attacking syndicate camps. And when we're attacking these camps, we're going to mostly hope for that they're attacking other pals that we can save, and that there's going to be a good pal inside of the cage. And if you don't know what I mean, you can look at the screen right now and see that I'm attacking one of those camps. So the other question is, where are these camps? Here's a map. Let's zoom in. Every red cross represents a syndicate camp. So I'm going to have to like rotate between all of these red crosses to find pals. But I have to keep in mind that each camp has a different level depending on what area it is. So here are the levels of the areas. A part of this challenge is that I cannot die, so I have to really be careful on what area I go to. Montage time. So after many hours of saving pals and defending nature, it was like the gods of nature looked upon me and thanked me for my hard work. And this was their gift. A new home, the Druid's Grove. And at that moment I knew I had to run home and get my stuff, because we had to build a new base. After fixing the camp, I ventured outside, saved more pals, and admired nature. Then suddenly, this happened. Oh nej. Så fan. Nej. Oh my god. Fuck. So, if you remember what I said in the beginning, how to get XP. If you don't remember, I said the only way we can actually get XP is by picking up items. And I think I found a way, the most efficient way to get XP. Before I tell you, I want you to know that this is going to be probably the hardest challenge I ever done in this video. It's such a hard challenge that I might die in the process. What we're going to do is, we are going to pick berries. If this sounds insane, it's because it is, and I think this is the only way to do it. If you also remember what I said in the beginning about catching pals was the best way to get XP when you play the game normally, but we're not playing the game normally, so we can't really catch pals reliably. And we can't really kill syndicates or poachers, because if we clear a camp, that camp will be gone for a while and we won't really get to the next camp as fast. So the best way to actually get XP is by picking berry bushes, because when you pick a berry bush it respawns pretty fast. And I found this place called Berry Lane, where there's like tons and tons of berries, and you can just pick them all, and by when you pick the last bush, the first bushes you picked have respawned. So you can just circulate around these 100 berry bushes to get 1 XP each. But I'm not done. You can also cook the berries, all the berries, to get more XP. So let's go through the math. For each berry bush I pick, I get 1 XP, and I get 2 berries. I do not get 2 XP for each berry, I only get 1 XP for picking the bush. But you get 2 berries, so you can cook both of the berries. You get 2 XP each for cooking each berry. So each bush gives me 5 XP. So this might look like I'm breaking the rule, because I'm using my RSOCs to help me cook the berries. But I don't feel like this is slavery, because we're all doing this together. I'm not letting them do it like unsupervised. I'm standing with them, I'm cooking with them, as like a solidarity cooking berry man. Before attempting the boss, we are going to need a team. A team that is going to be strong against Grisbolt. Because of the circumstances of this game mode, I have a very limited roster of pals to choose between. So this is what I came up with. First, I chose my Tensi because of 3 reasons. First, because she doesn't take double damage from electric attacks. The other reason is because she has Sandblast, and Sandblast is a ground type attack and it will do double damage against the boss. The third reason is because Insulated Body. Insulated Body will do that she will take 10% less damage from electric type attacks, and this is really good against this boss. The other pal I chose was Toko Toko, and this Toko Toko is special because she doesn't do double damage or she won't take double damage, but she has this property called Ferocious and Aggressive. Ferocious does so Toko Toko will do 20% more damage, and Aggressive will do so Toko Toko will do 10% more damage and will take 10% more damage, so that is a 30% damage increase. Our third member is going to be Vixie. Vixie is not that special, but he has Sandblast. And just as before, this ground attack is going to be really good. The fourth pal is going to be Arsox. This Arsox doesn't have any big flaws or anything, but she is just a very solid pal to have and can do a lot of damage even though she's not going to do double damage against the boss. Last but not least, Melpaka. My Melpaka is really strong against this boss. Because first, this Melpaka can be ridden if you have a saddle, and I have crafted that saddle. Secondly, this Melpaka has Sandblast, and as you know, Sandblast is a ground type that does double damage. So after everything, rescuing pals, picking berries, choosing what is going to be our best roster, we have just one thing left to do. We are going to defeat Zoe and Grisbolt. Let's fucking do it. Now is a good time to explain to you how this boss works. The first rule is I have to defeat this boss within 10 minutes or I will lose. The second thing is I can't go outside of this boss room without resetting the whole boss, so I have to do it in one try. Now let's look into her attacks. All of her attacks can be targeted to you or to your pal, depending on the circumstances. We are going to look into both what happens if she attacks you or if she attacks your pals. The first attack is she's going to stand still and shoot multiple electric bolts. This attack is the easiest one to dodge because you have a lot of time to run behind one of the 4 pillars on the map and then just wait out the attack. If Grisbolt will shoot the electric attack at your pal, you can just retract the pal to your sphere. Her second attack is her thunder storm. This just goes in a completely straight line and you can easily dodge this. The third attack I call the shit bomb, because it is a shitty attack that goes shitty slow and it tries to follow you, but you can just sidestep it. The shotgun attack might look intimidating at first, but you can just dodge towards it. And depending on where your pal is, the whole retract strat might be hard to do, because if the pal is really close you have a lot less time to react. The next attack we're going to talk about is the AoE attack. The AoE attack can happen when you run towards Grisbolt, but there's another version where he will try to run towards you and then activate the whole attack. Because Grisbolt has the same animation for many attacks, you might not know when the attack is going to happen when you're close to him. So if you see him move, just dodge away because you will never know what exact attack will happen. If you see Grisbolt running towards you, just run away, because your pals will be able to constantly attack him meanwhile he's chasing you. If you get really good with this strat, you can probably do this forever by just replenish your stamina by walking, and then when he's close you can just run away from him again. The next attack we're going to talk about is the laser beam attack. Grisbolt will stand still and lock onto you, and then he will charge up a laser beam attack. He will charge up in a very long time, so this attack is very easy to dodge, and you will be able to easily retract your pal. The last attack is probably the hardest one to handle, and it does a lot of damage. Grisbolt will slam his hand down to the ground by jumping towards you, and this will happen 3 times in a row. This attack is really hard to dodge, and the hardest one to dodge is the 3rd attack. So when this happens, you will hope that he actually targets your pal so you can retract them. But if you do it too early, he will do the 3rd or the 2nd attack towards you. The way you can do it also is that when he does the attack to your pal, you can run away from him so far away that he won't be able to reach you. Before the battle I crafted a shield that will be able to take a full hit when I get attacked. It doesn't matter how much damage it does, it will take the full hit. This shield is a really crucial part when handling this attack because it does a lot of damage and you will get hit by this attack. So when my shield is down, I just hope that he won't do the same attack again, and I will play really defensively until the shield is coming back. With all this knowledge, we are now ready to defeat the boss.
Yeah, yep. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
At this point I started to panic, because I might not be able to do it, because I'm doing too little damage. There is 3 minutes left on the clock and I've just done a little bit more than half of his HP. I should have been at this point of his HP around the 5-minute mark. So I have to come up with something really fast to be able to do it, or this whole challenge is over. It was then I remembered one thing. Melpaka. My Melpaka is really strong against this boss. Because first, this Melpaka can be ridden if you have a saddle, and I have crafted that saddle. If you made it through the whole video, thank you for watching. This video is the first video I've ever done with this much editing, so if something seems off, it's because it is my first time. So if you're thinking of subscribing, what can you really expect from the channel? You can't really expect anything, because I really like to spread out my creativity into different genres and different styles, like making movies, talking about video games, doing some kind of narrative or whatever, like whatever I feel for. So if you like my personality, I think this channel is for you. But if you expect more Palworld videos, I don't think this channel is for you. You can kind of see this channel as some kind of diary or my place to express my creativity. If you made it through this point, I'm really thankful, because then it means I actually made at least one person happy. Or really mad, I don't know.
it was at least stimulating for someone to watch the whole thing. Peace and love, and I see you later.